Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Second down, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he's able to find Diggs. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A very solid gain of 27. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive line out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Cousins now on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Laquan Treadwell, 36 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Left. 21. There we go.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And out across midfield, down to the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Now Ryan on first down. And the catch is made by Justin Hardy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 more yards there and another first down. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
On second down, Freeman. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Let's go.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And no move by Dan Quinn to get the offense off the field. They're staying out there, and they're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Before the Vikings take over here, I want to talk about one of the men that they have on offense that is just doing amazing this year. That's Adam Thielen. 5 straight 100-yard games to begin this season. 7 catches, 116 yards, and a score last week in that win over Philly.
He is truly a self-made guy in so many ways. I talked with his college coach, and do you know how they found him to get him to Minnesota State?
How?
In a high school all-star game in the summer, he had no offers from anywhere else. They got him for $500. That was the so-called scholarship that he got to go to in. Doesn't get drafted, goes to a rookie tryout camp with the Vikings, hangs on, works his way into practice squad, special teams, and now a Pro Bowl receiver.
And those 5 straight 100-yard games, you have to go back to the pre-Super Bowl era, 1961, to find out the last time that happened.
Hey, that's older than me.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. Hard to relax. Oh!
What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break no bro codes. The more red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. Don't know. What? They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What?
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Botcher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins caught on the right side by Treadwell. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. From the gun, here's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked off at the 40. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. A first carry for the tailback, Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devonta Freeman, 58 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10. Once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Cook. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Here we go. Rhino!
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. This is caught inside the 15. A gain of 39 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's no quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And Charles, the Atlanta Falcons 1-4, and we're getting ready to see their offense again, but so far this year, the defense has been the issue. Not so much the points they're giving up, but the injuries that they've had to deal with.
When you talk about linebacker Deion Jones, who they're hoping to get back off of IR later this year, but I don't think they're getting back safeties Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen. That really weakens you down the middle and, of course, on the back end of your defense. Last 3 games, they've given up.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Eric Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Coach we talked to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talked about taking the crowd and taking them first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a short gain down to about the 33. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. And Bryant's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash. Slim book of bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, that on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas. Head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway here in Los Angeles. This will be taken very short. They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second.
Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers point their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
On third down, Ryan escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
3rd and long for Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Now it's Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down. Cousins on 1st down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Lets it fly for Treadwell. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Cousins now on 2nd down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Cousins the thrower. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Back to the ground. Cook. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And they got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And Freeman lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Liz, 50, here we go. Shoot.
And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Liz, 50, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Falcons now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Get up!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards on the play.
39. Gun. Right.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout.
22. Hey, gun. It's 11. Get up. 26.
Now Ryan on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each.
Hey. Okay. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you Curry get the flame calling Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder. Hold up. I just want the knowledge and the power. Hold up. Why the looking at me sour? Need a like chowder.